What sets the Purina goat mineral and the Purina wind and rain sheep mineral apart from other minerals that are on the market is because they are designed by folks that are in the business. We work very hard at the Purina Animal Nutrition Center in Gray Summit, Missouri to maximize efficiency, to increase the number of lambs that we have on the ground, and I know the goat herds that we work with are on the same role as us. The best way for producers to ensure that they don't have a mineral deficiency is to supply a quality mineral. That's where we have worked so diligently on the Purina goat mineral and also the wind and rain sheep mineral to provide myself and other producers an opportunity to decrease problems. From the reproductive standpoint, vitamins and minerals play a huge role in sheep and goat. That's where we have found the biggest contribution to our operation in terms of AI and embryo and then conception on first-time service. So there's a distinct role that the minerals play in repro for us. That's what makes us unique and different, is because we're creating products that work for us.
Contact John Starnes, your Pride Ag Resources LPS and Purina Animal Nutrition Specialist at cell phone 620-518-2370 or at jstarnes@landolakes.com. You can also contact Shelley Hamilton, who's a feed sales specialist with Pride Ag Resources, at our cell 620-393-5872, and that's at shamilton@prideag.com. Contact them for your goat and sheep feed needs.
Stay Tough Superior Fencing Products presents its fence test video. During this video, you'll witness the strength and resilience of a Stay Tough fixed knot fence compared to a standard hinge joint fence, as both are hit by a full-size truck. Stay Tough fence is made of high tensile wire that's 3 times stronger than low tensile wire and will stretch less than 1%. Low tensile wire will stretch more than 10%. Both fences were installed under identical circumstances and using the same tooling and fence design. Let's see the results. Stay Tough Fence comes with a 10-year written limited warranty. Contact us at 1-888-223-8322 or visit our website to find a dealer near you. Stay Tough Superior Fencing Products. Stay strong, stay tight, stay tough.
Getting up on a morning like this and seeing the sun come up is just beautiful. I was herding sheep when I was 12 years old. I had a pack horse and a teepee tent and a stove, and I followed the sheep, and I loved it. In fact, if I had my druthers, I would be out here herding the sheep every day. I don't think there's any better life. We want to be in business for the next generation. We're feeding the world, we're clothing the world, and to us, that's a pretty noble profession.
200.
Makes me feel good that our kids want to raise their kids like they were raised. Makes me and my wife feel like that we must have done something right. My name is Stephen Osgathorpe, and I'm just an old sheep herder.
Making Kansas a better place to live and work has been our goal for over 100 years. It's a responsibility we don't take lightly.
It's all with your sediment.
365 meters.
365 meters.
K-State Research and Extension serves our rural and urban neighbors by helping you adapt to new technologies, protect our environment, improve nutrition and food safety, and grow the next generation of leaders.
And my world. And my world.
We help farmers and ranchers adopt new tools that improve profitability in a rapidly changing marketplace.
That went into it, going to help some people.
We prepare and inspire leaders to take on challenges with confidence, be responsible, and give back.
Thank you very much. It will be a great help.
I think K-State Extension is a marvelous partner.
We bring people together to complement each other's unique strengths and make communities more vibrant and successful. We are Kansas State University, in every county, working shoulder to shoulder with organizations, local leaders, and you to help our state grow and thrive. We are K-State Research and Extension.
We're now going to learn how to sample forages for nutrient analysis, whether it's in bales, bags, bunkers, or standing. We need to collect a representative sample of the forage being tested. The sample error when taking the sample can misrepresent what you have as a forage. So you want to handle it correctly as you can. One of the things, if you take several samples and you're not very accurate, you're not very precise, you're going to be over like the picture of the bullseye.
I'm going to try that again.
In bales, bags, bunkers, or standing. We need to collect a representative sample of the forage being tested. The sample error when taking the sample can misrepresent what you have as a forage. So you want to handle it correctly as you can. One of the things, if you take several samples and you're not very accurate and you're not very precise, you're going to be over like the picture up the bullseye on the left, upper left, where you're not going to know what you have when you do the analysis. Conversely, if you're low accuracy and high precision, what you have is just pretty perfect as far as what you've tested, but it's not accurate. It doesn't help you when you go to formulate your rations. In the same way on the lower left, where you want to be is have high accuracy and high precision. So what is a forage lot? A forage lot consists of the forage harvested from one field at sand cutting and maturity within a 48-hour period. It usually contains fewer than 100 tons of hay. A forage lot should be similar for forage type, field, soil type, cutting date, maturity, variety, weed infestation, type of harvesting equipment, weather during the growth, harvest, and storage conditions. You want to select uniform lots of hay. For example, if you have a field that's in the first cutting on the first field, you have an area which is grass infected, that's one lot. Where it's a pure sample, that would be lot 2. And then when you do the second cut, like alfalfa, the grass infected's 1. If you have the pure stand, which you got half of it done, and there was some rain damage, and then you cut the other half, you'd have 3 lots in the second cutting, so you'd end up with 5 different lots on that hay, and that'll give you a high accuracy of your testing. Sampling bales. Group bales according to their field, source, forage type, quality, and risk management if there's nitrates involved. Sort and store the bales that groups and lots of hay can be identified and maintained through the feeding. Here's a picture of how to do it, and I'm going to show a video now.
Okay, I'm going to demonstrate now how to take the sample in a round bale of hay. First off, you got your sample tester. There's a whole lot of different testers out there. This is one we happen to have. I always like to go up at an angle so when there's water we don't fill the bale and let it rot out from the inside. I'm going to try and get a little place here where I can get this in so we don't get plastic in it, in the sample. So like I said, I go up at an angle. And take this apart. Actually comes out. I'm having a hard time with this getting it out, but there we go. There's a sample. You take several of those, put them together. That's the way you do it.
Okay, so sampling the round bales, as you saw, sample as close to feeding as possible. The rule of thumb is sample 10 to 20% of the bales in the lot of randomly selected bales. Use an approved sampling device. There are many options available. This ensures consistent stem leaf ratio. If there's the weathering damage of large round bales, most of the damage occurs in the outer 12 inches of the bale. 50% of the hay in a bale is in a radius of 30 inches, with a radius of 30 inches, is in the outer 9 inches of the bale. So you must do proper core sampling to adjust to consider this change. And here's a picture of it. If you look on the last outer 4 inches, that's 25% of the hay in the bale. Outer 6 is 33%. Outer 12 inches is 50%. Outer 18 inches is 75%. And the inner 3 foot is about 25% of the bale. That's on a 6 foot bale. Hay composition changes, depends on the depth on unprotected large round bales. Here's some examples. You can see the dry matter is especially different, especially on the 0 to 3 and 3 to 6 as compared to the others. It also changes some of the IVDDM. Sampling big squares. Stem to leaf ratio is the most consistent on the ends. Sample from the ends with a probe at 90 degrees. A drill style works well. Be careful when you're sampling. Bales have fallen and it can happen. Think safety first. Sampling silage. One way is during harvest. Check the dry matter during harvest. You can check the dry matter and moisture by using a microwave or a coaster tester. You'd like to have the moisture between 60 and 70% or 30 to 40% dry matter. After ensiling, which takes place in about 21 days, try and sample at about 28 days. Don't be the guys that's sampling like this. They're opening themselves up for an accident. People have been lost had passed away when they've taken a sample and the silage has fallen on them and suffocated them. In bunkers, use a loader or rake to collect the silage from the entire face. Grab 3 to 4 samples from a bucket. You might have multiple loader trips on a large bunker. Silage is delivered on some operations. Sometimes you can take it from the middle of the truck or wagon. If you have silage bags, know what days or conditions, mark it down on each bag, and that way you know where to take the samples from. Again, you want to take samples from the like lots. The sampling methods include grabbing sample from the face in 8 to 10 locations. It only represents a small amount of the silage, but you can sample it at several times during the day. Or you can probe along the side, both sides. It can be a challenge sometimes if they're close together, but you also need to patch the holes with bag tape. When you're sampling standing forage, crop residues, forage sorghum, take a representative sample of the forage is not easy. It's difficult to determine what the livestock will eat. Whole plant samples is pulling the whole plants up. You can get soil contamination. Just make sure when you clip at the same height. Mark your clippers. And in that way, when you put it down, you can keep pulling at the same height. From the protocols, walk diagonal line, sample one plant every 50 to 100 steps. From the 4 corners in the center, chop the whole plant into 1 to 3 inch pieces and place in a clean bucket. Mix and then subsample in a gallon bag. So how do we sample something like this? We take several samples during the day at different times, place them in the refrigerator for 3 to 5 days, place an equal amount up to 3 to 5 days, place an equal amount of each sample in a clean container. Mix slightly, then fill a 1 gallon zipper bag for analysis. Final thoughts. Forage analysis is often overlooked as a management tool. Feedstuff variation can be potentially huge. Poor sampling technique or protocols create more problems than producers think. One last thing, using averages for forages in nutrient composition books is a starting place, but you really need to know what your forage is for the appropriate nutrient value for your animals. If there are any questions, don't hesitate to ask.